After Caitlin Clark's injury, ticket prices have gone down 75%, which we knew would happen because if Caitlin's not there, we don't care.
Obviously, we've seen that Caitlin Clark is injured, so the get-in price for the Sky versus Fever game on June 7th was $86, literally 48 hours ago. Now it's down to $25 after it was announced that Caitlin Clark was injured. So this is a 71% drop in ticket prices just because of Caitlin Clark's injury alone.
Angel Reese walked into an arena so empty you could hear a popcorn kernel hit the floor. Twice. No Caitlin Clark, no fans, and absolutely no mercy. When Queen Ree realized she was no longer the main attraction, she spiraled into full meltdown mode. Think Real Housewives reunion, but with even more chaos. The silence was deafening, the drama unmatched. Buckle up, because this quiet court confrontation got messier than the bottom of a fast food bag. You won't believe how it all went. Down!
And unfortunately, news broke that Caitlin Clark unfortunately has sustained a quad strain injury from the sound of it and is out for, it sounds like, at least 2 weeks. Justin, did you have some more info on that?
Yeah, 2 weeks that she's out with a quad strain injury. The Fever head coach, Stephanie White, this is a quote from her talking about this. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is a competitor and wants to play. Obviously, everyone wants to watch her play, but for me, it's about making sure we address this in a way that doesn't affect her long term.
Sounds totally reasonable. I think obviously she's instrumental to what that team does. She's very
Angel Reese walked into that empty arena like she was headlining a Beyoncé tour at Madison Square Garden, only to be met with silence, empty seats, and zero energy. No crowd, no Caitlin Clark, just the squeak of sneakers, the clang of missed layups, and a bored security guard probably more focused on his fantasy football lineup than the game. Every brick off the rim echoed like a bad punchline, and honestly, the hoop looked like it was ready to file a restraining order.
Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. I was watching the WNBA. There was nothing on the TV, so I said, why do I just support women? I'm a proud feminist anyways. It was one of the worst things I've ever watched. All I saw was straight bricks. But Caitlin Clark might be a demigorgon. That girl can hoop. I will say, Caitlin Clark, your ass need a new team. The people on your team some trash. And I know you can't even tell them that they're trash, so I might need to talk to your coach. I was watching the last 4 minutes of the game. I know y'all niggas ain't watch it, so I'm gonna explain it to y'all. Caitlin Clark had like 6 open passes to their teammates, wide open layups. They missed every single layup. Them niggas lost the game. And for a game, Caitlin Clark had to take a 99% contested 3 because she knows she can't rely on them sorry ass niggas, so she had to shoot herself. Caitlin Clark, we gonna need to find you another team. I would say pairing you with Angel Reese would be some cinema, but if your teammates is breaking like that, your ass definitely can't be with Angel Reese. We need to pair you up with like Asia Wilson. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
It's getting tough out here for the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie. She's been hyped up like the face of the league, but lately her game's been looking more like the blooper reel. And before the haters gonna hate crowd chimes in, let's keep it real. Nobody's dropping serious cash on courtside seats to watch someone shoot 2 for 17 and flex like they just solved world hunger.
How do you feel about just her impact on the game, and specifically WNBA, and then their future game that they have?
With Caitlin Clark not being there for this game, it is obvious that people were not going to want to see the game without her, because it's the camaraderie. Is almost like seeing Bird against the Lakers without Magic, or Magic against Boston without Bird.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here getting double-teamed, shoved, hacked, tripped, maybe even pickpocketed, and we wouldn't be surprised if a light assault charge was pending. The refs, completely unbothered. She can get full-on body slammed, mid-jumper, and the whistle might as well be a museum piece. At this point, you almost expect her to get called for interrupting the mugging. This isn't basketball, it's the Hunger Games WNBA edition.
This is not the time to hit the panic button, but it's time to feel concerned about the Indiana Fever. They are horrible without Caitlin Clark. They look awful. Caitlin Clark is literally the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. She makes everybody around her better. Like, Lexi Hall is literally Steve Kerr. Sophie Cunningham may be John Paxson. Aaliyah Boston might be Horace Grant. I'm dead serious, man. This team is not good without her. Kelsey Mitchell, man.
And yet, the moment Caitlin Clark touches the ball, the crowd lights up like it's Steph Curry and Diana Taurasi had a baby and sent her to the WNBA. Fans aren't packing arenas for the league or the logo. They're showing up for Clark. She's the engine, the spectacle, a human highlight reel with sniper range threes and court vision sharper than your grandma's eyesight post-cataract surgery. So what does the league do to capitalize? Naturally, they sideline her brilliance, and boom. The arena clears out faster than a dad's wallet at a Taylor Swift concert. Angel Reese can talk all she wants about being that girl, but the numbers don't lie. People are tuning in for Clark. They're buying tickets for Clark. They're learning what a pick and roll is because of Clark. Reese stans can yell into the void all day, but even the void's like, yeah, I'm here for Caitlin too.
Really dig in deep. This is an athlete who has 5 million followers on social media. 5 million. And yet, only 300,000 people watch the game against Brazil. 300,000. Comparatively, the player you hate, the player you think is overrated, the player that you say is being followed by a MAGA cult and followed by a bunch of her team against Brazil drew 1.3 million viewers on television for a preseason game that they won by 64 points.
The league had a golden goose in Caitlin Clark, and instead of building around her, they decided to haze her. She's getting clobbered on every possession while the refs act like they're auditioning for the blind, the deaf, and the disinterested. It's like they mistook her for a tackling dummy. She hits the floor hard, and the official response is basically, well, she is tall. What's next? Calling her for a foul because she's too talented. Meanwhile, the double standard is deafening. Angel Reese can hack someone like she's chopping firewood and get praised for her passion. But when Clark shows emotion, suddenly she's too fiery, too competitive, not a team player. Please. If Caitlin even blinks too hard at a ref, she's hit with a tech and a lecture on sportsmanship. Fans aren't dumb, they see it. That's why they're scanning the schedule and only showing up when number 22 is on the court. Nobody's lining up to watch 18 missed layups and a second-quarter technical for trash talk. They want magic. They want range, dimes, drama. The whole show. Not 2 hours of bricks followed by a post-game pity tweet about how nobody believed in me. Reese might have the swagger and the sound bites, but Caitlin's got the skill and the receipts. You can't fake vision. You can't flex your way into being the face of a franchise. This isn't TikTok, it's professional basketball. And if you can't finish at the rim, maybe save the celebrations for later.
God. Angel Reese went on a tirade the other day talking about how many people are now tuning in to watch women's basketball, not just because of Caitlin Clark, but because of Angel Reese as well. Saying a lot of women have done so much for the sport, but specifically, people are watching because of me too. That's what Angel Reese said. Folks, in last video we were talking about Kennedy Carter. It was her shot. She had a shot tonight. She could have captivated whatever 50, 60, 70, maybe 100,000 people are watching that game. She could have stole the attention span of that all the Edens.
At this point, the rim's more traumatized than the opposing defense. But let's not pretend this is just a Reese versus Clark narrative. This is a league-wide problem. The WNBA says it wants to grow the game, yet it benches the one player everyone's tuning in to see. That's like premiering a blockbuster and cutting the lead from the final cut. Caitlin Clark is the box office, and the league's out here fumbling the popcorn. No Caitlin, no crowd, no buzz, no spark, no reason to care. Angel Reese might be the loudest on the court, but the silence in that arena said more than she ever could. And here we are again, watching the WNBA try to figure out why viewership is flatlining, like someone just asked them to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Attendance is dipping, TV ratings are lukewarm unless Clark is playing, and instead of facing the truth, the league shrugs it off. Blame society. Blame misogyny. Heck, maybe Mercury's in retrograde again. But the real issue is right there on the court. elbowing in the paint like it's an MMA undercard. When players like Angel Reese, Brittany Griner, and Dejonae Carrington turn the hardwood into a scene from Fight Club, someone has to say it. Fans don't want to watch chaos disguised as defense. They want basketball, smart, skilled, electrifying.